Kolo, Yahweh Shem Yahushai, the ones men that gave life for this truth, then Yahushai shall rise first. Pioneers of this truth that gave life for this truth. The bonds of the elders, the great millstone that told me the truth. Honestly, brothers out there teaching to the house of David. The 144,000, the church of the saints, and the 1/3 men, women, and children that consist of the 12 tribes of Israel. That are the 12 tribes of Israel. That you black, Latino, Native Americans, that is your true nationality. And that is who you truly are. And that the kingdom of heaven, that Yahweh Shai is coming for you, to bring the kingdom for you. But only 1/3 of our people are going to receive the kingdom. The 2/3 are going to have to die on this side. The majority of our people are going to die in this nuclear war, in this nuclear sauna, and get it in the kingdom. On the other side, the Lord will be making on the first trip. We want to be the first ones to inherit the kingdom. Because this third world war is coming, man. That's why Yahweh Shem Yahushai is causing this third world war, to bring in the kingdom. To bring in the kingdom, to clean the earth, to cleanse the earth, and to bring in the kingdom. Over here we have Turkey, masses, tanks, and troops on Iraq's border. Like I said, this guy, fake Jew devil, Amalekite, synagogue of Satan. I know the blasphemy of them would say they're Jews and are not. They're singing the synagogue of Satan. But this devil be on point with that news, man, over there that's happening in the Middle East. Stephen Ben Nunn. I suggest brothers watch him. And sisters out there that's following the prophecies, that being the watchtower. The brothers out there, man, that's what we are. We watchtower. We're blowing the horn. We're getting the people. We're telling our people whether they hear or forbear, which when the majority are not going to listen, or what's to come. We'll play this clip.
Erev Tov Chavrim, I'm Stephen Benoon. You're watching Israeli News Live. Things are definitely heating up even more so once again in the Middle East there. The latest here is this video here coming out of TV Net that is showing a large convoy of tanks and equipment by the Turkish government headed down to the Iraqi border right there on the Turkish side near a city called Silapi, however you might pronounce the name of this Turkish city there. And that happens to be right here. If you take a look here on your map here, we're looking at Mosul right here, where the heavy fighting is going on now with U.S.-led coalition helping the Iraqis to liberate the city of Mosul, which has been a big concern for us as well, because we've been concerned that what's going on in Mosul is only a stage being set for an attack maybe later on Syria, or has the United States gave up on this idea altogether? Could it be that Russia has actually delivered a massive blow to the New World Order agenda by stopping the U.S. and the allies there from toppling Syria, one of the countries that they anticipated on overthrowing until Russia stepped in? Not really sure as of yet, but anyway, right here, this little town right here on the border.
That's the spirit, man. Overthrow. I just read it when you said that. Jeremiah 49:17. Also Edom shall be desolation. Everyone that goeth it shall be astonished, and shall hiss at the plagues thereof, as in the overthrow of Sodom and Gomorrah. This is modern day Sodom and Gomorrah. It's homosexuality. Their real names is sodomites, man. It's not gay. Gay means happy. It literally means happy. And the rainbow goes back to when the Most High destroyed the earth with water. And he made a covenant that he's not going to destroy the earth again with water, but this time with fire. And as in the overthrow of Sodom and Gomorrah and the neighbor cities thereof, saith the Lord, no man shall abide there, neither shall the Son of Man shall dwell in it. So Most High going to destroy this goddamn place, man. It's like he did Sodom and Gomorrah. That's all these gay legislation, gay laws over there in Tel Aviv. In Jerusalem, you had the biggest gay parade in Tel Aviv, and now you had it in Jerusalem. Showing you we at the end, these devils over there having the biggest gay parade in the land, the Holy Land. And that's an abomination. So you think the Most High going to do to America? Which America's Israel's bitch. Them gutter rats, man. They give them, what, 10 billion plus a month, which is more than that. That's a welfare state. Their kids go to college for free, 4 years. So basically, America's Israel's bitch, man. These Rothschilds don't even live over here. These banksters, they live in different parts of the world. England, different parts of the world.
Of Iraq, and of course in the far northeastern side of Syria, Silapi is where the Turkish tanks are right now, getting ready to invade inside of this country here, Iraq. And of course, we know that President Erdogan is stating that Mosul actually belongs to Turkey. this is really an invention of him dreaming back the ancient Ottoman Empire that was defeated by the British in World War I, and the British took over, and of course the British have divided all this land up in between the different nations that they have now, which is Syria, Jordan, Israel, etc. All this has been divided during that time period. And of course, also Tyler Durden has just come out with an article about this as well. It says in the latest provocation between Turkey and Iraq, the Turkish military begun deploying tanks and other armored vehicles to the town of Silopi near the Iraqi border in a move of defense. The defense minister said on Tuesday was related to the fight against terrorism and developments across the border. But as a reminder, Iraq had previously slammed the presence of Turkish troops on its territory when on October the 5th, Baghdad warned of regional war if Turkey does not withdraw its forces. Now, again, the Iraqi forces have once again warned Turkey not to come inside of their territory. So we'll have to wait and see exactly what happens there. In other news as well, turning our attention to Pope Francis on his trip back to Italy, the question comes up in there. Pope says he believes a ban on female priests is forever. Pope Francis said on Tuesday he believes the Roman Catholic Church's ban on women becoming priests is forever and will never be changed in some of his most definitive remarks on the issue. He was speaking aboard...
the G-Devils not supposed to be priests anyway. The heathens are not supposed to be priests. Israel's going to be made a nation of kings and priests.
A plane taking him back to Rome from Sweden, and the freewheeling news conference with the reporters that has become a tradition of his return flights from trips abroad. Now, that only reminds me of what Daniel states over here in chapter 11, verse 37, when he says, "Neither shall he regard the gods of his fathers, and neither the desire of women, nor any god shall he regard, for he shall magnify himself above all." And the reason I bring this up, the God of his fathers, being that this, in other words, he should be acknowledging that his fathers being the apostles, for example, or you could even go back and say the patriarchs of Israel, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. But the God of...
Which is not you. Which is not you. You came out of Abraham, Isaac. You're Hebrew, but you're Hebrew Edomites. You're not Hebrew Israelites. We're the Hebrew Israelites, man.
Israel, for example, did believe in women in authority. We have Huldah, the prophetess, who even the high priest of Israel goes to get advice on what to do. You have Deborah. You have so many women that God had in positions there. We even had women working at the temple. They were called temple priests. There were women as well. Now, I'm not talking about the Levitical priesthood.
Women had their place, though. See, women have their place in this thing. But to have women over men is against the scriptures, man. See, that's where they go off. Let me bring that out. And the Most High when he raised up women at times in the scriptures, was to get the men roused up and get them in order. But the ultimate ordinance is a man over a woman. Point blank, period. See that? Because that's why these devils, what they do is they cause that confusion, and they try to put the women over the men. You know, they try to put the women over the men. That's why these Jewish people, they go by the woman. That's the excuse for them to go by the woman. You know, because they don't go by the father. But the scriptures talk about the seed. Romans 1 and 3. Yahushua came out the seed of David. You see, we're gonna cut that, man. 1 Corinthians 11. But ye followers of me, even also I am Yahushua. I praise you, brethren, that ye remember me in all things and keep the ordinance, and as I deliver them to you. But I will have you know that the head of every man is Yahushua, and the head of the woman is the man. The head of the woman is the man, and the head of Yahushua is God. So is Yahushua the man, the woman, the children. Plain and simple, man. And when Most High raised up the women in the scriptures, was to get the men in order. You know, very simple, man. Was to get the men in order. Which is the order? The men, the women, the children. The Most High, Yahweh, His Son, Yahushua, Lord and Savior, the man, the woman, the children. That's how it's going to be in the kingdom, man. This is scripture say, the men that sigh and that cry, The men, we're signing crime. We're out there in the corner. Right now it's cold. How many women you gonna see out there teaching the corners? They have their place, which is to take care of the household and the children, man, and have the man's back, have our backs. Very simple, man. Very simple. That causes confusion. That causes chaos, man. A woman's not over a man. A man is over a woman in righteousness, man. And women that are in their right mind want that. Fucking idiots.
But they were there at the door. It's a big issue altogether. But the point is neither shall he regard the God of his fathers. In other words, knowing that Huldah was a prophetess, knowing that she was in the office of this caliber, knowing that Yeshua himself, Jesus of Nazareth, had Mary Magdalene, that was the closest one to him, loved more than any of the apostles that there was there. And there was many that believed that there were many.
Yeah, you had women that follow the Lord. You got women that follow the truth now. You got women that follow brothers. You got sisters out there that really believe and actually follow brothers, man, and support brothers. Most High gonna bless them. Whatever they have their place. The man has their place. The ruling government body with Yahweh Shai is gonna be 12,000 men out of each tribe. The men fight the wars. You understand? 12,000 out of each tribe. The 144,000 are men.
Women that actually spoke as well during those times. Very interesting argument to look at. We've actually done a lot of reports on that in times past. There's a little section on our YouTube channel if you want to go in there and look about the issue of women.
Look at what Miriam with Moses when he was dealing with the heathen woman. They was arguing with him. What did the Most High do? He took his sister and put her in the woods, man. Was it for 7 days and turned into a white woman? Turn her complexion into pale skin. Now that must have been fearful as hell, being a couple of days in the woods by yourself. Because women have their place. You understand? Women have their place.
A lot of these things from a biblical perspective, it might be interesting for you to take a look at. Anyway, but he has no desire of women, nor any God shall he regard. In other words, he's just making up the rules as he goes along, perhaps. I don't know. I know there's a lot of argument. They say, well, Paul said this and Paul said that, but like I said, check out some of the videos we have on that. You might find that interesting. U.S. officials say North Korea preparing.
That was an argument, but wait, he says he believes in the scriptures, though, the New and the Old Testament, right? See how hypocrisy these devils are? Showing you they're not the real people of the Lord, man. They're all out of order, man. They're all out of order, man. First of all, they're not even the people of the Lord, so they're not going to be in order. We're going to put them in order. We're going to put them in slavery. That's where they belong. These heathen nations are going to be chained up and be a subjection to Israel.
A missile launch, and of course that's being picked up as well, also by the Fox News as well. That yes, they're preparing to launch an intermediate range missile. There has been several that have spoken about this anonymously. That as far as in the military, they don't want to bring out much about this. They expect this within the next 24 to 72 hours, according to the UN Security Council. This is in violation of the resolution that they have brought against North Korea. But let's just hope that North Korea doesn't put anything on the tip of this missile, that it's just another test there of them trying to flex their muscles. They're showing that that they still have some say-so. And of course, this is during amid the times where the U.S. and South Korea are also, again, doing war games right there just below North Korea's border there. So another related story as well that we're looking at here that just came out today: Australia and Indonesia in talks over joint South China Sea patrols. According to the report here, they say that they believe that
even Australia's getting down.
Bring more stability to the region there, doing patrols in the South China Sea, including the Philippines, Indonesia area there, doing joint military patrols in the South China Sea. Now, I don't think that'll bring about peace and stability. If anything, I'm afraid it will only antagonize the situation with China and make it even worse there. All right, so we found the volcano once again. This is the Sinabung volcano in Indonesia, with expulsions of incandescent material has evicted the population. As you can see in the photos here on your screen here, it is spewing tremendous amount of ash and soot into the air there, causing evacuations of the people to leave the area. Of course, breathing that, no doubt, would suffocate a person to death. Just tremendous photographs of this volcano. This volcano was asleep for like hundreds and hundreds of years, from what I understand, about 400 years is what they estimate that it was asleep, came to life, I believe, in 2010, then 2013, and again now here in 2016, once again rumbling back up to life. Again, that's in Sinabung in Indonesia, where this eruption is taking place today. I'm Stephen Benoon. You're watching Israeli News Live. Shalom.
Hey man, these missiles are gonna hit America. That's gonna be the volcano. Jeremiah, bring up the scriptures for it ends. It's about to end any second. You know what? Let me bring out Isaiah. Isaiah 54:16. Behold, I have created the smith